Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is extremely important because last week we had spoken about how to become a highly paid freelancer, how to make more money, etc. But there is something else that we need to talk about and we don't do as content creators, freelancers, business owners, right? Which is improving the quality of your thinking. Most freelancers in the market, especially in India, have suffered from a lot of these challenges and complexes. I'm not talking about everybody, but a lot of people, right? They're not confident enough, they're not skilled enough, they're not reaching out to people enough. They also have, as a freelancer, you are a business owner. There is no other way to put it, which means you have to be responsible for your business, getting clients, running them, paying money, making money, every single thing. But even as a freelancer, a lot of people have like a very employee mindset, which is just get me clients, I'll do the work, or when I get clients, I'll do good work, etc. Right? But that is not the case. You are also responsible for getting clients. You're also responsible for every single thing in your business. I also face this as a challenge, but a few years back, when I was freelancing, I was not getting clients. As a side hustle, I was doing that, right? But the change that is right now is that I'm at least getting a foot in the door because I've done networking and there are a few other things that I have done, which is exactly what I'm going to be talking about in this video, which is to improve the quality of your thinking as a freelancer. So the first thing that I would want to talk about is that your thinking, your skills, your confidence levels are extremely, extremely important. As clients, people trust that. When you're working with a freelancer, you don't know the quality of their work until you work with them, right? Portfolio can be great, like I told you. You could take some work and put it on the portfolio, or you could be good with certain things and not be good with certain things, right? So it's extremely important that the client gets to know the quality of our work and thinking as soon as possible. So a few things that you should take care of. The first thing is challenge and question everything, every aspect of your business. That is the mindset that you must have. Are you rushing to get a client for a very low pay money, because you think you don't deserve clients, because you think you're not skilled enough, because you think you are not going to make money, right? So a lot of people rush quickly to get more clients, to get very low paying clients as well, just to say that, hey, I am busy and I'm earning some amount of money. You can take a step back, you can think about it, you can actually work a little bit on yourself, and instead of, let's say, 5,000 rupees if you were charging, you could charge 10,000 rupees by just giving it 15 more days by doing these things that I will be talking about in the video. The second thing is that a lot of people overload their clients, and this is again a part of the mindset itself, that you overload your clients with a lot of work, information, inputs, etc. What as a client, what they want is not for them to have more work, but for them to remove things of their plate, for them to remove things of their plate, right? You as a freelancer and as an expert can remove these things from their plate. So don't overload them with information. Don't keep pestering them to check. Just have one session with them, one or two or three, as many as required to legit understand them and their business, and then continue doing that. Keep trying, keep experimenting, be curious, keep asking more questions, right? So that is the first mindset, that it should be a business owner mindset and not a employee mindset. So the second thing that you must do is bring in a reflective practice or a retrospective practice. For every single client, we keep moving on to new clients, new work, right? If things did not work out with the client, we always blame the client. We often blame employers, bosses, etc., right? Since saying that they are toxic bosses, toxic clients, toxic, etc., toxic everything, right? I am not discounting all of that, but what I am saying is that when something does not work, there has been some side to both of it, right? If a client, for sure, like if there is a client that's been completely toxic, just let them go. But if a client did not work out because he was difficult, right? Why did it not work out? Was it because he needed more information, he needed more updates, and you were not able to give him? I'm not saying blame yourself, but think about what can be changed in the next one. You could not charge him higher because of what reason? You would have had a retainer with that person. Why did we not have a retainer for a 6, 12, 18-month period? And why did they stop in 1 to 2 months? These things need to be done in a retrospective where we write down each and everything that went wrong, that could go wrong, and start improving on that, right? You may not have processes in your business, you may not have invoice template, you might not have people who can help, and which is why you missed out on certain things. Maybe you don't like giving as many updates, they like more updates. Maybe it's the vice versa where they don't want so much information, you're overloading them. So the second thing that you have to do as to improve the quality of your thinking as a freelancer is reflect on what went by and see how you can improve it. With every single client, this practice must be done. I will do one small video on this separately where I will talk about how I am reflecting on each and every client. What do they want, what are the challenges, what are the feedback, etc. The next and the most important thing I would say is to build a diet of information. Yes, I got this title from ChatGPT, but I loved it absolutely, which is Diet of Information. You have to curate that for yourself. You have to customize it for yourself. Are you just scrolling on Instagram or any other social media channel, YouTube or LinkedIn, and just looking at updates from friends that does not help you at all? You should not do that. To be a good thinker, you have to be in the company of better and best thinkers. You cannot be in a company of people. If you are a freelancer or a business owner, you can have friends who are doing jobs, who are employees, but you have to follow more people who are doing that, who are taking the risk, and learn from them, right? Even from that plethora of people that will be available to you, you have to choose maybe 5 to 10 people who you will follow and consume information for. And this is about social media I'm talking about. You will also have newspapers, you will have magazines, you will have books that you have to read, and you have to upskill yourself, or know everything about particular area that you might be working in. For example, you could be a SMM or a writer for, let's say, a fintech domain. I'm taking in that example because I do that, right? So now I don't wait for a client to tell me, hey, Aditi, talk about gold, buying gold during Diwali or Dhanteras. That is something that I actually know for myself, right? So I will do that research. Or if there is something else, like what are the investment schemes, what are the stock broking platforms, what are ETFs, anything around fintech, I keep studying about it more, because sure, I was in that industry, but as a writer, I have to know that along with knowing the person, right? So I can only do that when the information I am consuming is relevant, and we are a product, or we are a byproduct of what we watch and ultimately what we think. So to improve that, don't stop scrolling. If you are on Instagram, just remove the people that have no relevance to your business, right? If you want to scroll, if you want to watch Netflix or Big Boss or anything that, like, I know we do watch it some point of time just to relax, calm down and not use your brain, do it for a particular period of time in a day only. And I struggle with it myself, right? Maybe just before shooting this video, I have scrolled through Instagram for 2-3 minutes, but at least I have curated my feed for only the people who I learn from something about freelancing, content creation or video editing. And the last thing is to surround yourself with influential people who can make an impact, right? Not digitally, it could be offline as well. So books and social media give you access to digital people digitally, but offline people who can influence you in a better way. The people you stay with, the people you surround yourself with, also affect your thinking, and you might not be like, you might think that maybe that is not true, but that is true, right? For some you can control, for some you might not be able to control, but the goal is to be able to curate the set of people that you stay with, your friends. If there is some family member that you have a problem with and you can distance themselves, you should do that, because people, you have to have people by your side who not just believe in you but also give you insights, right? When I speak to people, I am very fortunate to have like a few people in my life who I would call mentors, friends, right? The first is of course Saloni from Hustle Post Academy. I started my journey as a business owner who wanted to do full-time business, full-time business, freelancing, etc. with Saloni, learned so much from her. Then I started building my business. Then I came across Supriya online, and then I happened to meet her, and then, of course, we met and worked together. So she taught me content writing. Whatever I am writing, the basics, or the structure, she helped me with it. Then I got to work with her on some projects, and then that was a nice experience. So I came to know of these two people completely online, but then I got to meet them in real life, learned a lot from them. So I'd consider them mentors. And not just that, the people that I have around me, like my husband actually helps me with creating this beautiful setup studio. My father is very, very curious on how to make more money as a freelancer, right? So all of these things actually drive me. There are times, and I'll probably cry when I say this, that there are times that I really don't believe in myself, but the belief that the people around me have in me make me continue and not break down, right, and not give up. So that is extremely, extremely important, because there are days, and I can tell you that one day before this entire studio got renovated and redesigned in one day, right? One day, I mean, over 24 hours, of course, because some people came and put up those racks, some people like my husband helped me set up the table, etc. But the day I was supposed to do this, I was extremely exhausted after work. I'd worked for about 10-12 hours, and I had not slept well the previous night. I was exhausted. My father was like, sure, if you want to rest, let's go ahead and rest. But then something struck me. I was like, okay, let me do a little bit of decoration, right? That will motivate me to come back the next day. Otherwise, I'll keep delaying it, saying that I have more work, all of that, right? So I just decorated the rack behind me. Of course, I stopped, and I'm not talking about hustling and working very hard. Of course, I stopped, but that gave me the motivation to come back next day, start off in the morning, start building this up, right? It's only because I was speaking to my parents, I was speaking to my husband, and I really believe that these influences are extremely important. And the last point is, learn a way to organize your thoughts. I know this might be a difficult concept to understand, but a lot of times people write, have you seen some people who, send messages and you cannot understand head or tail of it? Right? You understood the gist, but the language is confusing, or they've used words interchangeably. The reason is because they are not organized in their thoughts. Their thinking is not organized, and that is the reason you must start journaling, writing down your thoughts. Whatever you read, can you summarize it? This, I know I said being around people is the most important thing, but this is as important, believe me. I also am a person who tends to blabber. You might see it in all my videos as well. I am a person who likes to keep talking, keep rambling on, etc. But what I'm learning is that and if you notice these pauses, right, I'll not cut a few of these pauses so you know what is happening. That the more organized and structured you become in your thinking, the more easier it becomes for you to communicate with the client, with people, and that's much easier. So imagine if you can do the work in just one client call, one conversation, but you are doing it in like 5-10 iterations. clients will also get irritated. People around you will get irritated. That is the reason I have started journaling and I started writing. Writing was to process my thoughts. I realized that my thoughts can go all over. Even my writing tends to go all over. But I am very, very sure that when I write, at least there is some form of organization happening. In fact, for YouTube videos, I have decided to keep it script free for like a little while because I want to talk, about things that I am learning on my way as a freelancer and a content creator. Which is why sometimes I just tend to ramble on. Sometimes I am stopping. Sometimes there are such long pauses that I have to edit it out, right? So all of these things are only happening because I do not write down anything, right? So what I started doing is for this script, I shot 2 more versions of it, right? Or for this video, I shot 2 more versions of it and I scrapped it because from what I wanted to talk about to what I ended up talking about was completely different. So what I did in this is I wrote down 5 pointers, the pointers that I've spoken about, like improving the quality of thinking, the points that I have spoken about, being curious, being around people digitally, curating your information diet, being around people, learning from people offline, and organizing your thoughts. I just wrote down these pointers and I'm talking about it. But now you see that video is much more structured because there's a logical structure and flow to it. Even if there are some points, maybe I could show, like maybe this will end up to be like a 15 to 18 minute video, right? Maybe I could cut it down, maybe I could make it shorter, maybe it could be 8 minutes also. That is separate. But I did not ramble along without making any sense for most part of the video, right? So that is all I had to say. And the last thing, again, I know I told the last thing, this is just a ending note, is that rest as much as you can. Take a break as much as you can. Just detach yourself for a bit. Do not go out. Do not work online, offline. Remove your phones for a bit. That actually helps your brain think and process better. This is a struggle I personally have to, and maybe over time I will talk about how I am trying to reduce it. Am I successful or am I failing in it? And I will put it out here so that I am held accountable. I am spending anywhere between 2 to 3 hours per day on social media or on my phone in general. It could be WhatsApp, it could be mails, etc., client communication. But I want to reduce it to 1 hour per day to start with. And let's see how long it takes for me to do that. With that, I will end my video. Thank you so much for listening to the entire video. Please subscribe to my content if you like it and share any feedback that you can. I would love to improve the quality of my content and thinking. Thank you so much.